We're going to San Fran via the banner. 4 Baltimore police officers will not face charges after San Francisco investigation. San Francisco prosecutors declined to bring charges against 4 Baltimore police officers who have been under investigation in the California city after a woman says she reported a sexual assault that took place there. The officers, including the commander of Eastern District, have been suspended with pay and assigned to administrative duties by the Baltimore Police Department since November of last year, while the Special Victims Unit of the San Francisco Police Department investigated. The San Francisco District Attorney's Office told the banner this week that the evidence in the case was deemed insufficient to file charges. All right. Although the San Francisco police had probable cause to submit an arrest warrant for review in this case, after careful review of all the evidence gathered, we do not believe we can meet our higher burden of proof, the officer said in a statement, adding that it would reevaluate if additional evidence emerged. Now, what are they being accused of? Told you it was sexual assault, but let's get into the details. The accuser, a 39-year-old California woman, contacted the banner saying she was frustrated with the outcome in a case she says dates to September 2024. She also shed light on the circumstances that she said led her to contact police. At the end of the day, no officer should let something like that happen. She said, I felt like they took advantage of me. I don't think that's fair. Major Jai Etowaru, the suspended commander of the Eastern District, declined to comment through an attorney. The other suspended officers, Juan Rivas, Angel Villaronga, and Jamora Acosta, could not be reached for comment. The Baltimore Police Department said an internal investigation remains ongoing and the officers would remain suspended pending the outcome of the investigation. The woman who asked not to be identified because she said she was the victim of a sexual assault says she met up with the officers through a friend who had been communicating over social media with one of them. They went out for drinks and she believes she blacked out after taking a shot of liquor. She said she woke up partially naked the next day alongside one of the officers in a hotel room, bewildered and unable to remember what had happened. All of the officers were packing up to leave, she said. Nobody would say anything to me. I said, who had sex with me? And no one said anything. She said, adding she submitted to a rape kit exam 3 days later at the urging of friends. She said she could not have consented to sex in the condition she was in. The banner spoke to a friend of the woman who said she was also present that night and shared a similar account.
Yeah, insane story. To sum up, seems obvious that she was drugged and gang raped by 4 police officers who were visiting San Francisco. And the DA of San Francisco just announced that they are not going to pursue any charges because, the burden of proof cannot be met. So it's an intersection of how hard it is in general for women to wield the justice system in cases like this, but this is compounded with how hard it is for police officers to face any accountability when, again, the DA, these prosecutors, they are part of the system of policing.
Yeah, they're another wing of the police arm.
Yes.
They fight for the police. That's crazy, man. This is a nightmare scenario. It's like you waking up, it's like blackout, 4 cops not saying anybody. And who do you even call? It's like, I can't call the cops. They're the ones who just fucking raped me. My God, I feel like.
And I found on Twitter and Reddit, different places where, because they mentioned here the rape kit, and I saw many instances where people were saying that all 4 of the cops tested positive in that kit. But as much I'm not a professional researcher, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find confirmation of that. Like, I couldn't find it in any of the news articles. But I did want to bring it up, but add like a grain of salt to it that people were saying that all 4 tested positive, and I'm wondering why. Like, here in this article, they mentioned that they did the kit, but they didn't say what the results are. But absolutely insane story. Like not that these cops got off. The fact that they're not even going to face any charges. The fact that these cops this whole time have been suspended with pay. Like, absolute no consequences whatsoever. Not even a fucking investigation into this shit.
One of the worst crimes that you could commit, and her description of it just paints a horrid picture. Just waking up to a guy pulling up his pants and 3 other cops walking out of the room silent. That is
not answering your questions.
That is
ignoring you, literally ignoring you.
Like, what the fuck? And then what can she do? She's just left holding the bag and left holding that just emotional damage. That's, man.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude.
And I wanted to bring up, so researching this story led me to another related story involving the San Francisco DA, right? So that I feel like that's one of the big main characters here. And San Francisco DA and and sexual assault of women. So under the previous DA, who was kicked out of office, his name Chesa Bowden. You might have heard his name because it was a big deal when he was kicked out of office. When he was in office, and so this is recent, just maybe 2-3 years ago. Crazy story of a woman was arrested for robbery. Now, what evidence did they have on her? Well, they found her DNA at the crime scene. Well, how did they have her DNA in the first hand to where they were able to match it to a crime scene? A rape kit. It was a story of a woman years ago handed over her DNA to the police in the form of a rape kit. She was a victim, and she went to the police to try to get the person who did this to her. And apparently, the San Francisco police, and I don't know where else in the country, how common this is, would just keep that DNA and include it as part of like the criminal database. Absolutely insane. One, it's unethical, immoral, but two, this is going to clearly act as a deterrent for women who want to seek out help when one of the worst things imaginable happens to them.
What horrible world we live in, a dark, inverted world where it's like you submit a rape kit and the cops come back like, well, oh my God, you find a criminal? Yes, you. And they arrest you. You're the person getting arrested from submitting a rape kit. That is hell. It doesn't even make sense. It's just like, oh, we live in hell. This is like how a system in hell would operate. Like, oh, rape kits actually arrest the person who was raped. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's how ironic with all these we have nothing but rape kit backlogs everywhere. But the one time they want to actually go and like use the rape kit, it's to criminalize the person, the victim. Insane.
Huge backlogs everywhere, to the point where they, I believe it was in Texas, I could be wrong, it was either in Texas or in Georgia, where they started trashing them because they had so much and they needed space for other stuff. They just literally started trashing them, and rather than investigating them and doing their job in one place where police would be greatly appreciated. Like, the police, you're the only people we have who can legally go after these crimes, and this is what you're doing. Like, this is an example of where you can be appreciated. Like, you can actually not be, complain about being hated all the time.
But look at the cops who are responsible for overseeing sexual crimes. It's perverts.
Yeah.
Literal pervert. The last cop we talked about, a pervert.
Yeah.
And we expect perverts to find other perverts? That's like...
Yeah, I mean, it's really unfathomable. But fortunately, with the case we just talked about, where the woman was arrested because of evidence through her rape kit, the old DA, Chesa Bowden, made it so they stopped doing that. The old DA, who was recalled, was a quote-unquote progressive prosecutor. Like, yes, somewhat of an oxymoron, but here's like a list of some of the things he did while he was office. He sharply reduced the use of cash bail. He reduced sentencing enhancements that are used disproportionately on black men and women to keep them in jail or prison longer. Stopped prosecuting low-level pretextual traffic stops. Expanded diversion and treatment programs. Stopped prosecuting juveniles as adults. Created a wrongful conviction review. Focused heavily on police accountability, started going after police who were committing crimes. But when you have someone like this, of course, it's going to result in a huge recall effort that was hugely funded by capital, right? All these power structures are infiltrated by capital, by profiteering. Like the bail bonds industry is a huge, huge industry. Lots of money to be made there. All these like quote unquote public systems, like even prisons that we don't consider private prisons, well, even though they're a public prison, like a lot of stuff they do is contracted out into private hands. Like the people who supply the food, the people, and like now is the worst quality ever. All about cost cutting, like the foams that they use, they
have to follow the rules of capitalism like everybody else. Cut costs everywhere, whether it be employees, products, to increase shareholder value.
Yeah, them, and then of course all the real estate interests that are. That want police to heavily go after people who are unhoused and the poor people. Like you have a progressive prosecutor in who is making these like reforms, just reforms, like basic, simple, easy reforms. Still, that is affecting the pockets of too many people, and they got rid of him. And now is the new DA of San Francisco who is doing shit like this, who is not even pressing charges on a horrific, disgusting incident like this.
It's incredible, the sliding scale of morality that we have in this country. You would think we'd all be like all gearing, like just careening towards the same what we all identify as good. Like, oh, these are good things that'll help most amount of people. But no, there's people who want power who will literally be like, I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna do the opposite of good. And that it just blows my mind. I think I would have hoped for like this unified morality that we would all operate on, but no. No, there's evil ass people in the world. They get power and they abuse it, and put it on us, and now we get fucking rape kits thrown out. And,
used for evidence.
Yeah,
and not the way the evidence it's supposed to be used for.
Yeah, you can turn in a rape kit.
Arrest this woman.
Yeah,
that's literally what happened.
That is.
Yeah.